Hello and welcome. This is actually more of just a channel check-in with what I'm sensing of energies and what I know of astrologically is going on just collectively for everybody. And I keep getting a couple of songs kind of coming through in my mind. One is Another One Bites the Dust, and another one is Twist and Shout, and another one is Shake, Rattle, and Roll. And there's been some other ones that have come in and out, and there's been a fair amount of energy that is very bratty energy, which, I mean, it kind of fits in with Leo season stuff. We have Mercury in Leo right now, and it just spent a super long amount of time in Cancer. And we also have the moon going into Pisces, which, so with the sun in Leo and the moon in Pisces and Mercury in Leo, we've got kind of a strange aspect. It's like amplified emotions, and what I keep seeing repeated in the patterns and the cycles is the inner child is screaming. Like, a lot of people need to really address inner child wounds, things of that nature. Adults are probably acting very childish right now. You might see a lot more outbursts, and there's a lot of karmic stuff going on right now too. We have Saturn reversed, or yeah, no, excuse me, reversed. We have Saturn retrograde in Capricorn right now, too. So there's a lot of restrictions on finances. Especially with the moon just having been full in Aquarius, like anything that has to do with traditional stuff, finances, freedom of speech, freedom of movement, any sort of stuff in there it aligned with Jupiter and expanded and is now kind of riding on this wave of Lionsgate energy, which kicked off yesterday on the 3rd with that full moon. And I'm saying it's going until at least August 16th. It might be going till the 19th. I've seen a couple of different things. But either way, there's a lot of irritations. There's a lot of distractions. There's a lot of this energy of like work, 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 when really what you want to do is play. And we've spent the early half of the year in this like work, 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 earthy kind of energy mixed with watery energy. And now we've got water energy going in with fire energy. And there's a lot more fire than there is water or earth or air. We even have Mars in Aries, and that's exalted, which means that it gets an extra oomph. And anybody that's got strong Aries placements, strong Leo placements, or strong Capricorn placements right now is they're well, you're either going to be in one of two energies from what I'm gathering. You're either going to be very productive and you're going to be like obstacles. I kind of get this picture of like Ganesh coming in and just like parting the seas for you. I know that was a cross-cultural mixed metaphor there. But coming in and removing obstacles that have been there, especially if you have been doing your healing and your inner work and your shadow work, because then karma, Saturn is coming in with a boost for you and returning to you things that may have been lost or eclipsed out early in the year, or that have been slow and stagnant. And for others that have not been standing in their integrity or in their truth, now is the time we're probably going to see a lot of outings, like people being outed for things. There's going to be more stagnation. There's going to be like too much communication going on, and really a need to pull in and focus on that inner being. And that's really what a lot of this energy is coming in for. So for anybody that follows my channel or appreciates anything that I get on and jabber about, and you're finding yourself feeling like you're struggling right now, a lot of the main energy is this energy of feeling under attack and still being able to focus, still being able to kind of like not, it's weird, a friend had said flatten it, and I like that, like flatten it, like it's there, but rather than it being a mountain, it's just a molehill. And a molehill is, you can see over the molehill. You can't see over the mountain, but you can see over the molehill, and you can figure out how you can deal with that. And there's a lot of energy coming in with people being, well, learning how to recognize that you don't have to be triggered just because someone else around you is feeling triggered. And you don't have to feel sad when someone else is feeling sad, and you don't have to feel mad when someone else is feeling mad. And it's okay to be happy when someone is sad, things of that nature. it really depends on your own situation. I've seen this coming in from many different sources. That just seems to be the easiest way to describe it is, look at all this Leo energy. This is a Sun card, and Sun card is 19. It's enlightenment, illumination, and inner child stuff. And in that card, it's a baby riding on a horse and a unicorn sometimes. So that's like that freedom from mental limitations, and that's really what Mercury and Leo energy is often about. We also have to remember too that Mercury has just left retrograde. So it was in Cancer for a long time. It left retrograde, so there's all that home and mother issue and things like that, and now we're bam right into Leo energy, which is out loud. It's the individual. It's the personal power. It's sacral or solar plexus stuff. Speaking your truth, standing in your truth, not caring anymore what anybody thinks about it. But it's also, how do you even put words to it? It's that magnanimous heart. It's it's emotions boosted on such an intense level, not just the bad ones, the good ones. And Mercury is about thought and word. It's also about travel and things of that nature. So we might see what I'm likely, in fact, I know I've seen a lot of these patterns coming up, is that anyone who's been in kind of a karmic relationship, either with roommates or family or romantically, those are breaking up pretty quickly in a lot of this Mercury energy. And I mean, that it's funny because I want to say part of that is from quarantine, but really that's kind of what astrology does. Is it doesn't tell you how something is going to happen necessarily. It just tells you that the energies will be there and what will likely happen. So the themes and the ways that these things come about are not necessarily going to be like written in the stars, but you could see that energy coming about. Sorry about that momentary interruption, and with the neighbor's dog too, I've been hearing a lot of that. And when lately, when I've been hearing a dog barking, especially if it seems alerted to something, that dogs often have to do with loyalty and community and the pack. And if a dog is sensing that there is something dangerous going on, it will alert you. And I'm getting a lot of that in a lot of the readings that I'm doing, and a lot of times when I am interacting with somebody that has, I want to say, like familial things going on. In any case, as I was saying, the quarantine is how it's played out, and we're probably going to see that as a continued theme going on until at least like September, October time. And there's a lot of, even relationship experts are already have been predicting a lot of breakups and endings to various different relational social cycles. That's probably also going to carry out in the wider world in terms of like politically and stuff like that, but I'm not going to go too far into there. I'm not ready to start taking my channeling quite that far. But there's also reconnecting with the heart, the head and the heart. Now, right now, what we're seeing is that a lot of people have been really in their heads and really in like the air sign type energy, King of Swords, Queen of Swords type of energy. And that really kicked off, especially with the full moon in Aquarius. The energy which is going to stick with us through a lot of this week and probably start to dissipate just before or just after Lionsgate itself, which is 8/8/2020. And as that happens, we're probably going to see more people kind of going from this state of not communicating their needs and not speaking their truths to there's so many laying out, you almost feel like you got 10 of swords, like you just got, a bunch of daggers thrown at you. But it's not a bad thing. Like, even if it comes out wonky, all that energy we've been holding in, all that heart energy is starting to come out, especially as the solar plexus chakras just below the heart chakra starts to really heal up, and it allows for that energy to come up to the heart and come up to the throat and allow it to come out. And following that, we're probably going to see a lot, like kind of a shift of energy towards more of the throat chakra stuff and more of the third eye stuff. So a lot more people really really connecting with their intuition. But right now, there's a lot of people being put in various different situations to help continue with what seems to be kind of like a DNA upgrade of sorts, especially in terms of our ability to be more intuitive, not just with each other, but the earth around us. And that seems to all be playing out through activating way more inner child issues. And now I know that this also occurred early on in January, well, February-ish, when we had the full moon in Leo and the sun in Aquarius. So for those of you that caught those subtle hints or were already riding a previous wave of that energy, you probably have already worked out most of that. You might just see a couple of kind of bumps in the road, or if you are, well, you might see some other people reflecting things around you that are much more intense than what you're going through, but that just fits in more with the theme. If you've already been doing your work and you're not feeling a need to be triggered by whatever 3D thing is happening, then you don't need to. You don't need to go into that. In fact, if you find that you are the calmest person among those that you know, or you're having the best luck and times of things, that means that you are the beacon, you are the guiding light, you're effectively the Aquarius, the star card in a whole lineup of Leo cards, of the strength card and things like that. And you're going to be the one that the people who are ready to jump on board with this Lionsgate portal, they're probably going to follow your lead. So don't, don't necessarily don't become a braggart or anything like that, which can become easy in Leo energy, but don't don't hide your shine. Glow up as much as you need to, and be honest about how you feel about it. And if you feel good, even if other people around you are not having the best of time. You can still be a totally supportive person and have a great big heart and be kind and reassuring without feeling like you have to put your individual accomplishments on the back burner just because they're not there yet. And really, when you hit a point in time and enlightenment, you recognize that everybody's on their way up. Not to mention the proverb, be careful of who you step on your way to the top, because you're going to see them and you'll fall back down to the bottom. And the way that you treated them is really going to make a big difference as to how they're going to react towards you when you come back down. And that's a lot to do with karma. So be aware. However you have spent the last 6 months, give or take, is going to affect how the energies play in for you right now. And that could be good or bad, or it could be somewhere in between. I mean, we're humans, so we typically have a mixture of things. In any case, everybody, I'm feeling like there will probably be more readings like this, but we will see. If you like this sort of channeled rambling from me, please go ahead and like below, leave a comment below. I don't mind doing them, so please check out the signs videos that I have, and if you're interested in divine partnership coaching, I have playlists that I've been working on since January, February time, and I'm going to be playing around with different formats for different readings and manifesting videos and things like that. So take your pick at what you'd like to look at and work on, and I'll be here providing the content to hopefully help you level up. All right, everybody. Bye.